Okay, Jack, we'll have to wait a little bit till about 9 o'clock before we could start the recording. But this is blue sky right now, and we're seeing M82 pretty well at 1.2 second exposure. Binning 2. You don't have to record that right away. I'll wait till about 9 o'clock till there's a bit more people coming on. Dewey's on, Don is on, there's another person on. I don't know who it is, but he's on there anyways. Yep, a bit of vignetting here tonight. That is because I've got the Universe Focal Reducer along with the 0.75. So we're going from f8 down to f5 or so, f4.5. So it's going to affect the vignetting. Once the darkness arrives, we'll be all right. We'll be able to get the background dark enough. Nice field of view though, and an increase in sensitivity. But you can see that we're still picking up the blue sky. Beautiful day here today, and it's going to get warmer from now on. Last night it went down to 18 degrees, 17 degrees Fahrenheit. It was pretty cold, -9 or so. Tonight, I think we're just going to go down to about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got the 5mm spacer. This is the new version of the Universe Focal Reducer where you screw in the T-mount adapter on it. That gives you about 5mm. And I also have the 0.75 focal reduction from the RC telescope. So we're going down from f10 down to f8, down to about f5 or so, maybe f4.5 even. So it's not 10mm spacer, it's a 5mm spacer. So we're going to wait till everybody gets on board here, and going to wait until the blue sky goes away and we get dark skies, because right now it's still blue here. So darkness is coming in slowly but surely. We're binning 2x2. Here's binning 3x3, and you can see we got blue sky. I really like this camera quite a lot because of the true rendering of the colors. I didn't do anything to it yet. No white balance, no nothing. Everything is flat. No color adjustment, no saturation turned down yet. And of course, conversion gains all the way up. And sharpen is turned off. And we're going to get the stacking. So 8 is too much, probably 4. Might be more than plenty, or even 3. I really, really like the additive and the deep sky function in the live stack more than the average. Additive is the way to go for sure. But we'll play with that later, and we're just going to wait till everybody gets on board here. David's on. Good evening, David. We got Don, we got Dewey. And there's somebody else, I don't know the name, but once okay, I see your question there, Dewey. I didn't see that now. There's a big difference. The 10cTEC is definitely more sensitive. It has roughly the same pixel size, if I'm not mistaken. We can check that if you click on the help and go to diagnostic. And it's a, oh, no, it's a bit bigger. The other one was 3.7. This is 4.6 by 4.6 microns. So times 2 will give you a little over 9. It's going to bring us in the same value as a 432. That's why I really, really like the DS10cTEC, or just a straight 10C, because it's the only camera that you could actually match the sensitivity of the 432 if you're using binning 2. On top of that, we've got a much bigger sensor. And we got 10.7 megapixel instead of 1.7. and the sensor's a lot bigger into the 10C and the 10C TEC. That's correct. So the 26C is 3.7 micron. The 10C is 4.6. So it's that little extra makes a big difference. That's correct, Jack. I have the 0.75 RC focal reducer, the Universe focal reducer, and a 5mm spacer. The Universe focal reducer is the new version where you screw an adapter at the back, which is 5mm, gives you an extra 5mm. That's what I'm using tonight. That's why we've got vignetting a bit. I'm not going to be too worried about the vignetting because the star seems to be in good shape in those corners. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I just want to get a good tracking if I can, and a nice wide field of view and good sensitivity. So all in all, the 10C TEC is more sensitive. There's no question about it. And the 10C TEC, just like the 10C, is a true video sensor. And the color engine used inside of the camera is not the same at all. This sensor is probably the only one, along with the 432, that approach the performance and durability of a CCD sensor. Both of them are extremely sensitive, and but the 10C, we have to use the bidding mode 2x2. So we're up to about 4.6, 4.6. This is like 9.2. You're close enough to the magic number of 9 micron. So 4.6 by 4.6, this is what it's going to give us. So about 9.2 micron total when it's using bidding mode. This is going to be a good comparison to the 432 we had the other night, 3 nights ago. Excuse me. So the 10C TEC is a really, really good workhorse and very versatile, and it has tons of sensitivity. So we're going to wait till about 9 o'clock. I hear you on that there, Dewey. I hear you on that. The 26C is much bigger sensor. It's a huge sensor. That's a 28, 26, 28, 26, 28. I can't remember exactly, compared to the 10C, which is about 22. So the 26C is a lot bigger as far as sensor is concerned. You got a little bit less sensitivity, but as you saw the other night, yesterday, you get to manage to get. It's a little bit trickier to adjust compared to the 432 or the 10C here or the 10C TEC, both the same, except one is cool, the other one is not. And yes, 29.3. Thanks, Jack, for that. It's a 28 millimeter, so it's a lot bigger compared to 21.8 on the 10C. So you do have a much bigger sensor with the 26 and smaller pixel. Your field of view will be wider for sure with that, but a little bit less sensitivity. So you need to use bidding 2 or bidding 3 to get something decent, like I was using last night. I think I was at bidding 3 last night. Now the 24 TEC is next. I have one left that it just got made, and that'll be my next night broadcasting. I'm going to try the 24, which is 43.3. That's a full size, and the pixels are way bigger. They're 5.9, 5.6 or something like that. I can't remember on top of my head. 5.9 micron. That's nearly 6. So for a full size frame camera, this is a huge sensor. But the price is there too, though. I mean, it goes there. The bigger the chip, you know, the wider the field of view you're going to get, and the more forgiving on the tracking. Well, the tracking itself won't change. The error will not be noticeable as much with a bigger sensor. Oh, no way. Don't tell me he's on. C-band, yes, sir. Ivan, boy, oh boy, I didn't think you'd come on. Nice to see you on there, Ivan. We certainly miss you, and it's nice to see you on. You missed 2 of the nights of broadcast. This is my 3rd night tonight that I'm broadcasting. The first night we had a DS432. Second night, which was last night, I had a DS10cTEC. Tonight is DS10. So we're going to do comparison on all of them. The sky's still blue a little bit here. Let me see now. If I go to digital binning 3, yeah, we still got a little bit of blue in the background. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Certainly could correct that. And I do not want to go at 1.2 second exposure, and we're seeing this pretty well. So if we go 4.5 like we were last night, it's going to be way overexposed. That means we got to bring the gain down to 30 like we had for the other ones as well. So now we have 4.5, and we certainly don't need to go that high. It's just too sensitive. I'm curious to try binning one here, just for the heck of it. And as you could see, we've lost a great deal of sensitivity. So going with binning 2, I think, is the sweet spot for this camera. But being at 4.5 seconds is way too much. Now the background is a little bit greenish. That's because we're turning into the blue a little bit. We're fading away from the blue. Okay, this is better for sure, but the default shows us the proper color inside of the galaxy. So instead of that, we're going to manually turn it down to about -15. And I think we got a pretty decent darkness in the background. So just like we did yesterday, these are the tests that we required to do. Now, the sensitivity of this chip is way, way higher. We have everything at the way it was at 4.5 seconds, and I find it's too much. We need to cut this down to 2.25 or so, I think. So we could use the stacking. We see some very nice detail in there, actually. So if we go with the live stack at 2.5 seconds, I'm going to do 2 frames only. That's correct. Absolutely. It's is your name Ricardo by any chance? It says Chief Ricardo, so I don't know if it's Ricardo. Please confirm your name if you don't mind. And obviously the stacking is way too much. So this is a camera that does not require that, but I'll call you Ricardo for now because this is what it seems to be your name. You're absolutely right. I'm going to show you how I've done it, and if you want to see it. So what I've done is basically increase the on top here. We're set up at 36% of the size. So fit the window, that means the full size of the chip is fitted to the size of window that I'm using. Okay, Richard, thank you for confirming it, Richard. Much appreciated. It'll be easier to communicate. So right now, if you look on top where I'm clicking, there's a box that opens from 10%, 28, 25. I always use fit to window. That way you got the full-size chip fit to the window size that you're using. For us to zoom in, we need to go to 100%. But I don't want to go on a galaxy, so I'd like to go on a fainter star. There you go. Here's a faint one at the bottom right here. Let me show you with the X. Right here, we've got a very, very faint star. It might be a little bit too faint, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to increase a little bit more, 150. Let's go 200%. The star won't look too good. The refresh keeps going because you can see the background noise being refreshed. I did turn down the gain, but we're going to turn it up just a little bit. I will turn down the exposure so we can have a quicker refresh and increase the gain. There, see, it's going faster. You see that background noise is being refreshed. You see that faint star, it's white. Well, the whiter it is, that means the closer you are to focus. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to defocus the star. And why the star is moving right now is because the atmospheric condition. So we're zooming right into the sky, right on the star. So now I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and as you can see, that star is starting to get a little bit more pinpoint and a little bit wider. If I pass the point, it'll get bigger. Just like that. And it's going to get less brighter. So, Richard, you need to have this brighter. And obviously, if it gets brighter, it's going to get more white as well. So let's focus this. You have to go back and forth. Okay, we're seeing a nice dot in the middle here. So we're going to pass there we go, look at that. Whoop, I passed it. Let's go back a little bit on the focus. Do a little bit at a time. Okay. I passed it again, Richard. Let's go back forward again until we got somewhat this is close. Not quite. There we go. Whoop. The atmospheric disturbance is changing the shape of the star right now, but it is brighter. So let's go a little bit further. I'm probably going to pass the point. Yes, I did. All right. Well, actually, no. It's more pinpoint than it was. Shall we leave it there? Well, let's try to get past the focal point, which I just did. So now it's a softer looking star. Let's go back on the focus again. Little bit at a time. Just a little bit at a time until we see the brighter core of the star get brighter a little bit. And if it does, it'll turn white a bit. Okay, let's increase the gain a bit to make this thing brighter. There you go. Are we close? I don't know. Let's go back out on the focus. Okay, I passed it, so I screwed it up. I gotta go forward on the focus. Give it a little bit at a time. I definitely passed it. So let's go back out just a wee bit until this is pretty close. The atmospheric disturbance is changing the shape of the star. This is difficult to get. If you're not sure, go on a brighter star. I'd say we're pretty close. Okay, I think we're close. We're pretty well there. It's definitely a smaller shape. So if we back out, look at the nice sharp view you're getting now. Beautiful. And now we're at 1.2 seconds. And I'm going to turn down the gain to about 30, like we had on the other ones. I'm going to turn up the exposure to 3 seconds. I don't think so that we're going to need to stack in this case because the sensor is very sensitive. I'm at 3.8 right now. Good evening, Derek. So this is what we're looking at. So if we turn down to about 1.3 second exposure, we're obviously going to lose the brightness. So if we go into the live stack into additive and deep sky, I'm going to enable only 2 frames. Sounds good, Richard. I'm really glad you're going to, give it a try at it. You need practice. It's as simple as that. My advice is to practice on bright galaxies. That way you get to know the routine that you need to go through. So if you go for a dimmer one, the idea will be the same, but you're going to have to increase the exposure or have more live stacks. So now we've got 2 frames being stacked, and instead of using 4.5 seconds like we had last night, this is only 1.3. Much more this sensor is sensitive. To be honest with you, I don't think so that we're going to need this. What we could do is this. I'm going to try a little experiment. I'm going to shut off the digital binning, go to 1 by 1. We are going to lose the image completely. Let's go to 4.5 like we had last night. And let me fit the window. Here it is now. So I don't know if the stars are bright enough for the stacking. So we're going to go with 3 stack. And we no longer are using binning here. This is 1 by 1. This is the full chip. There's no dark frame, no flat field taken. All right, there we go. So we've got 3 frames coming up. It's nice. It's very nice. Stars are very pinpoint. That's because we're near the 9 micron, 9.2 microns, but now this is 4.6 micron. That is very, very nice. I like what we're seeing here. Let me stop this for a minute. Let me go back to digital binning, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I need to make the background overexposed a bit so I could go correct the white balance. Now it's no longer dark. We got a bit of green in there. Let's lower down to -21 from 15 and see what's going to happen. We're going to lower the green again. A little bit too much. Now the background is getting dark. Let's go to default. We're going to go down to -32 or so. That's too much. -25. Oh, it's getting closer. -23. I seen earlier the actual galaxy look really, really nice. There was some blue in it, red, and light bulb color, as I call it. Don't know if I should leave it there or not. For now, Okay, the gain's at 30. The exposure is pretty high, so we're going to turn that back down to 1.3 second. At digital binning 2. And let's enable 3 frames. Again, with this specific sensor, you don't need to enable any live stacking. It is so sensitive. So it's overexposed, way overexposed with 3 frames. So we're going to go down to 2 frames. It's decent, but we're losing some of the stars in the background, I find. We got some glow in there a little bit. It is much warmer here today than it was. Last night it was 18 degrees, 17 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about -9 Celsius. Tonight's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a lot warmer. And that's going to affect our sky condition. So this chip is a lot more sensitive. And in fact, I don't think so we're going to need the stacking. You can if you want. So let's turn this up to about 3.3 seconds instead of. We're going to keep the gain the way it is. We could go at 4.5 like we had last night. 4.585, here it is. No, the dark spokes are on the left here because the image is reversed. Because there's a second focal reducer, so the spokes are on the left. You could actually see it a little bit. Now what we're going to do with that, because we're not stacking, we're going to increase the sharpness. Now here's the trick how to wreck the whole thing. So let's start wrecking the DS10C tonight. It's going to give us a lot better shot. Oh, there goes the spokes. Beautiful. But I think we're overexposed. Shall we lower the gain or the exposure? Let's try to lower the gain a bit. We'll go down to gain 20. No, let's go back to 30 on the gain. 30, I guess, is close enough. Now, we're getting a bit of noise in there. The way to get rid of this is like so. Remember the stacking where we're doing an additive? We are going to go 3 frames average. We're still at 4.5 seconds. And all we're going to do is average the frames. Watch the noise disappear. Let's zoom in on the target. You see some noise in there, okay? A little bit of noise. Watch this. It's all going to go away. Hopefully, it will align the frames properly. Let's see at the bottom if it's going to, okay, watch this. The noise is going to go. There you go. Second frame. Look at the noise disappearing. 3. Noise is gone. If you want to go a little bit more, you can. There you go. Now the noise is gone. Look, all the smoke. 1, 2, 3. You see a 4th one in there. Nice. Very nice. So the more stack we do in average, not additive like we had with the other camera. This camera doesn't need additive. It's too sensitive for that. I still find that we got the core overblown a little bit. So I'm going to stop the stacking here for a minute. All right, here we go. See all that noise coming back? I'm going to push my luck with the sharpen here. I'm probably going to wreck this thing real good. The higher the sharpening algorithm that you use, the more noise you're going to get. And the only way to get rid of this is you stack it on average, not additive like we've been doing for the last 2 nights. Yes, I'm sure that they would. But I'm going through a lot of glass here, 2 focal reducers. It's too much. Actually, it's way too much. I should go with 1 focal reducer only. If you wish, I could go and remove it. And here we go. Here's the stack. We got 2 stacks, and look at the noise. It's going completely. Now, my next step is going to be, wow, the noise completely gone. Okay, let's stop the stacking. It's time to go for the histogram. Oh yeah, we're going to need that big time. All right, let's adjust that histogram. Let's pay attention. This is not bad. Close that up. And let's try to stack it. Now I've got the sharpening turned up a little bit at 130 or so. This is going to produce noise. If you average the frames, that noise disappears completely. Just like you're seeing now. Now you got a really, really smooth image. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3 spoke, and the 4th one tucked right on top. Nice, very, very nice. Here's 100. Wow, I'm surprised we'll get to go that high. That's because we're cleaning the noise up in average. You see, last night and the night before, we're using additive to increase the efficiency, the sensitivity. With this chip here, you don't need to. There you go. This is 150% magnification. The image is not broken down, but we do have some color separation a bit in the stars. And that is caused by the focal reducers. There's too much glass there. I would need to remove, and you're starting to see the actual pixels. Looks like we're not quite focused, and that's normal. We're using quite high magnification here. 100 times is nice. This is the actual size. I'm going to follow what Jack says to try suggesting the digital binning. We're going to go one by one, but here's the issue we're going to have. Lack of sensitivity majorly. For that, we're going to have to increase probably the 5-second exposure. Okay, it's a bit brighter, and we're going to increase the gain quite a lot, probably 80 or so, a bit less. No, a bit more. There you go, 111. Oh, let's go full rip and see what she does. Okay, let's go down a bit, 150. Let's go on the stacking. I don't think so. We got enough stars there. And the histogram has to be changed. There you go. Ah, that's a little bit better. All right. I don't know if the average is going to work here. Let's give it a try. Because of the lack of sensitivity, the stacking mode will not have enough stars or enough contrast in the stars. So we may develop the Pink Floyd effect. But so far, so good. So let's see. We got 2 frames stacked out of 3, 4. Wow, the noise is completely gone. So let's go 75%. Actually, the result is very close to the binning mode. Slightly bit sharper. Yeah, we see the spokes here really, really well. And where are those spokes? Right here. I'm going to use the X to show you. We've got 1 spoke, 2, 3, and a 4th one right on top here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice, very nice. Oh, this is extreme magnification. This camera is extremely sensitive. Next to the 432, this is the one that has the most sensitivity and the most versatile. No amplo, no need for dark frame. Here's one thing I'm wondering, do I have the cooling on? Yeah, the cooling is on. It's working at 13.1% for the power, so it's not extreme. 14.8% for the power, drawing for the cooler. It's idling perfectly. temperature is 0.0 Celsius. That is all what we need. So we got 18 frames stacked. Look at the noise. It's completely gone. And we only got 3 frames on average. Now the exposure is not any brighter. Average will get rid of the noise. It will not increase your exposure. You're just going to get rid of the noise. We back it up a little bit. That's a nice picture for sure. Beautiful live image. Something else I want to try. All right. I want to push my luck here. I don't know if we're going to get the Pink Floyd effect. Most likely we will. I'm going to increase the sharpness. Four frame average. How many seconds we got here? 5-second exposure. The gain is nearly full at 150. All right, let's engage the live stack in average and frame alignment. Let's see if it's going to register it. That's what I'm concerned about. Okay, 3 input went through and nothing on the output. Most likely we're not going to get it. Yeah, we don't have any stacking happening. Okay, because of the sharpening, the same thing happened last night, and the software crashed because of the sharpness effect. So we're going to have to close that. Oh, no, it came back. All right. My computer's too slow here. I had a hard time starting it up earlier today. I'm using a really crappy computer. It's from Walmart at $299 desktop, 8 gig of memory, a cheap AMD A6 is slightly better than a Celeron chip. So I've got the worst for computer. Let's go back and there you go. We got this at the wrong end. This is where it should be at. There you go. Okay. Let's go back to where we had it the best. Frame rate is at low. Digital binning will be at 2 times 2. This is 1 and 2. That's good. Cooling is on. Yep. I want to make sure the sharpening is off. Yes, it is. All right. My stack is where it was. We're 300 milliseconds. So let's bring that up to 4.5 seconds like we had with the other cameras, which will be too much. We also lost our white balance. So, oh, hang on a sec there. 4.4, 4.5. White balance, we're going to do, well, we could do it that way. Here, I like that. This is black. Now we need to lower. The gain is way too high. Here's 30, not bad at all. And I think we should turn down the exposure to about 3.5, 3.3 or so. 3.2. Not bad at all. Look at all the detail we're getting in there. Now, let's go into additive, just for the heck of it, and 2 frames. This is how sensitive this chip is. It does not need to be additive, but let's see what it does. It's overexposed right away. But the background's still black, and that's what I like. All right. Ooh, that's a lot. Let's go 1 frame on top of the other. Additive, so 3.2 seconds times 2. That's 6.4 second exposure is simply too much. So we're going to forget about that. And instead of, we're going to increase 4.5, 4.6, 4.5. 4.5 seconds is pretty good. We're seeing a little bit of noise, and the way to get rid of it, see if she speckles all over. This is normal of CMOS sensors. You don't get that effect with CCDs, only with CMOS. Stacking mode, average. You don't need no more than 3 frames or so. Watch the noise disappear. That's what I like to see right in front of our eyes. Is the input working? So we got one input at the bottom and the status says okay. Output, we got 1 frame. 2 frame is on there now. Look at that. The noise already gone. And the 3rd frame is going to go in there. It's completely gone. You certainly could take a picture out of that easily. And there, that's nice. So we could go on top here and snap this away. All right, where's my picture? Here it is, right here. This is the picture I just took with the stack, and this is live. This is the picture. This is live. Here's what we could do. We certainly can. Somebody sent me an email inquiring about the hue. Got the white balance, which is naturally done here, based on what I saw. We saw earlier. This is 8-bit. That's fine. Color adjustments. All right. Well, if we lower the saturation like we've done last night and the night before, the colors won't be as dominant. You're going to have less color bleed, but because we're stacking, we can't do that on the fly. Okay, so now we're live. We're going to lower the saturation a little bit. You see the fans as well on the left. Here's the fun part with the hue. You could actually increase or decrease this. Now your galaxy just turned pink. You're blending all 3 colors, the RGB, at different point. That's what you're doing. So I'm going to turn it up to 87. Now the galaxy's purple. I'm going to bring it back down to 0 and -1. And now it's more natural color of it. Let's go down to -25. Whoop. We got more yellows and a little bit of blue. Let's lower that down. This is what the hue does. It's to fine tune the actual color without touching the colors. I will get it green. Really green. Blue. Or you bring it back to 0. And you're back to the natural way the sensor is picking up the colors. And of course, we've got the saturation turned down. I'd like to have it down a little bit more. There we go. Otherwise, if you go default, you got color bleeds right into the actual lanes, the dust lanes. I don't want that, so we need to lower it down. About 85 should be fine. Roughly, maybe a little bit more, 90 with this camera. Each camera has its own characteristics, so you need to experiment. There we go. I think this is good. And now we get to enable the stacking on average to get rid of the noise. And this is what we're going to see here. This is full frame. This is zoomed in, and look at that. Beautifully smooth. You could grab this and process it later. That's the fun part of it. Are we still broadcasting here? Let me see if this still works. Yep, okay. So with the sharpness down, obviously we'll lose some detail here. We don't have all the detail that we want. In fact, I think we could benefit from lowering the saturation some more. I don't know, Jack. I hope people hear this. We've got a more quiet crowd tonight, but it's all good. Okay, if you hear me, that's what counts. Richard's here. Okay. Just watching. Okay. Let's try to sharpen again. Let's screw up the image again, guys and girls. Because I want to bring out the detail in there. Food coma, yeah. No, I know. I like the sharpness. We should do that after by taking a picture, and it's afterward that you do that. But it does help. I think going it up to 100 is okay. If you go past that, it's going to wreck it. And that goes with different cameras. The stacking is what kills it. Now we get to fix the background here. And for that, not too dark. There you go. This is good. Now let's enable this to average 3 frames and watch the noise disappear. Here's 1 frame above the main one. Now you see the fans on the left side. There's 3 frames, and that noise is completely gone. 4 frames. There you go. It keeps going, and the noise keeps disappearing. I love this for that. The average is to get rid of the noise. The additive is to gain a lot more power with shorter exposure. But this specific camera does not need this. It only needs the average stacking. That's a gorgeous image right there. A little bit of sharpening in there, no more than 100. You get to see what you need to see. 75, here's 67, here's 50. That's a nice frame. 67 is nice. So as 75. There's not much else we could do with this camera. It has so much sensitivity. We don't need to go any higher than that. Binning 2 is plenty, and that specific camera will rival the DS10cTEC as far as sensitivity is concerned when it is used as binning 2. So that makes this camera a choice for sure, simply because of it's extremely versatile. I'd be curious to remove one of the focal reducer on there. I'd be very, very curious. I think I'm going to do that just for the heck of it. Let's go back and stop the stacking. Let's take off the sharpness. And what we're going to need to do is go full window and increase the exposure. No, sorry, lowered exposure at about 1.5 seconds. and increase the gain. So I'll be able to focus that once I remove one of the focal reducers. Right now, I'm going to have to move the galaxy to the left a little bit. Whoop, that's the wrong way. There you go. Okay, we're going to raise it up. Whoop, that's the wrong way again. All right, there we go. Whoa. Where did I go now? I don't know how to drive here or what. All right. Nice and sharp for image. I'm going to go remove one focal reducers, and it's going to allow us to go through less glass. So I'll take that out because we've got a lot of glass right now. We've got the 0.5 focal reducer and the 0.75. That's too much, really. And I don't think so. This camera needs that. So give me a moment. I'll go remove that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I was half in the dome, so we were only getting half of the aperture. And we certainly see a huge difference in magnification because this chip is a lot smaller than the 26C. So we're at f8 at the moment, and we lost a lot of sensitivity. The lower the f ratio, the more sensitivity you get. Let's double check to make sure our digital binding's at 2.2. It is. So now what we're going to do is go to 4.5 seconds like the other cameras. And let's see what it does. We're going to lower this down to 30 like we had it. And we're also going to have to change the histogram. So we lost a lot of sensitivity, quite a lot. And this is when we may benefit from, okay, this is decent. This is 4.5 seconds, and we've got 31 gain. It should be about 30. There you go. And now we get to go additive. Let's start with 2-frame additive. Hopefully we got enough stars, because now the field of view is not the same anymore. We got less stars. So with the universe focal reducer, we really had a nice field of view. Obviously, this is too much. Let me focus this thing here. It's going on about 1.5 seconds. Turn that up. Okay, and what I need to do is go down to some of those stars here. I don't think some focus properly. All right, we're getting out of it for sure. All right, let's get this going. There you go. Nice. Okay, I'm not going to touch this. We got a third one on the left that just popped in because the focus is accurate. Okay, there you go. That was easy. All right. Nice, sharp, decent. We're going to go to about 3-second exposure, 3.1. No, even that's too much. But boy, is it ever sharp. Now you see the fans on the left. The gain's all the way up too. So they probably bring the gain down about 50 or so. 75 perhaps. You're barely at a point where you may not need. We're going to increase the color a little bit. That's correct. I took out the universe with the 5mm spacer out. Okay. No, let's put it back at 85. A bit less colors. So the field of view is quite different. A focal reducer always help. A smaller scope would give you a much wider field of view. 16 inches, a lot of light bucket, but the field of view is very narrow. Okay, let's see the stacking issue here. No, I'm F8. It should be F8. 4064 is the focal length. Yeah, this is way too much. Wow, we see the extension of the outer. Hang on a sec, Jack. Let me get the calculator here. You just hold on. 1064 times 7.5. You just hold on for a minute here. You just hold on. I'm looking for my calculator here. Last time I checked that out, it was F8. I lost my calculator here. What the heck happened to it? Just bear with me for a moment there, folks. I just want to get some accurate well, that's strange. I lost my calculator in here. I usually have it on the desktop here and it's gone. There it is. All right. Whoa, this is way too, whoa. All right. You just bear with me, folks. I need to shrink my calculator here a bit and get it out of the way. So 4064 times 7, wait, 3000, okay. Yep, 7.5. You're right there, Jack. I was sure we're at F8 for some oddball reason, but now we're at 7.5. You're absolutely right. So we are running at 7.5, F7.5 right now. Now, what I'd like to do is we're at 3.1 second. This is pretty quick still. And just by turning up the gain here a little bit, we don't need to have any stacking. I could lower the gain a bit to have a bit better picture here if you want. I would like to do this test with the M81 now. So bear with me, folks. We are going to go to M81 to see if we could see the dust lane that we saw yesterday. I should have left the 0.5 focal reducer there because that would have made it. So M81, let's go and see where are you. Obviously, you're not too far from there. I think it's similar Easter Sunday and then Easter Monday. I think the stores are closed, but I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm surprised that we're picking up some of the dust lane. That means the dynamic range of the camera is extremely high. And this is at f7.5. That's even worse. Like, I mean, we're under worse conditions. Okay, I like what we're seeing so far. Wow. Okay, let's start up to 4.5 like we had with the other cameras last night and the night before. And yeah, we're getting pretty good here, actually. Let's adjust the histogram is just to darken the background. So we could pull out those dust lane a little bit more. There you go. I'm surprised. I'm quite surprised, actually. Let's lower the gain down to 30 like we had with the other ones, but I don't think so, the stacking. Let's try the additive, and I'd say 4. Let's hope we got enough stars. That's my only concern that I have right now. And it's going to develop the Pink Floyd effect if the stars are not bright enough. That means I'll have to change the histogram again. So far, it's locking onto it, so I think the histogram is too aggressive here. Yeah, the histogram is too aggressive. Histogram can certainly make things worse. It's best to leave it just the way it is pretty well. All right, let's try that again. All right, let's see. Oh, good day, Rusty. Good evening. Thanks for coming over. Wow, we do see some really nice dust lane in there. So the dynamic range is quite good. And we're at 7.5 here. That's quite high. It's a high F ratio. Wow. Okay, let's lower the histogram a little bit. We're definitely going to need this. Okay, let's try it like 4 frame again on additive, and we'll see. Even at 4.5 seconds, we're pulling the dust lane here. This is performing exactly very close to the 432cTEC when it's at binning 2. Wow, this is nice right there. This is 4. I don't think so. We need more than that. 5 is overkill, so we can lower the histogram some more. Okay, let's try that. Additive, 4.5 seconds. Gain set to 30 like the other cameras. And we're going to try for 4 stack. Well, we're trying it out with this camera here, Dewey. It's definitely different. Don't forget, there's no filter, no guiding, no dark frame, no flat field, but boy, look at that. Wow. Actually, I like the result of that better than the other cameras. Well, we see clumpies in there too. So let's adjust the histogram some more. We're very close to the histogram adjustment that we need. Okay, 1, 2, slightly darker. Few step at a time. All right. Let's start again. So 4.5 seconds, time 4. So that's 18 seconds worth of exposure done in 4.5 seconds. So that way, my tracking remains more forgiven. Well, at least we won't see the errors as much. Because if I go one straight 18 seconds, we'll get the same result. But the problem is the tracking. Star is going to be smeared. Everything's going to be smeared. Wow, this is nice. Okay, this is the best Meade one we had in the last 3 nights. Compared to the 432, the DS10cTEC, and this one tonight, the DS10cTEC. So we've got the histogram adjusted right. Wow, this is nice. We actually see some clumpies in here. Look at that, right here. Right here, where I'm showing the X's. At the bottom here as well. I really like some of the details that we're seeing here. And here. And at the end here, all of the clumps of the galaxies. We didn't quite pull that out yesterday. And at the gain set as like the other cameras, all of the Rusty, all of the settings are used exactly like the other camera. Whoop, hang on, I'm at 46 instead of 45, so I made a mistake here. The gain's at 30. So all the other cameras yesterday and the day before were set at 30 and 4.5. So I got 4.6. Let me stop this and correct the 0.5. I need to have it at 4.585. That's what we had it at. All right, let's start over again. There were identical adjustments to what we had yesterday with the DS10cTEC and the 432 M actually is what we had. We didn't try the color one. But the sensitivity of this camera at binning 2 will equal the one of the 432, the DS432. That's what I like about this camera. It's a smaller chip than the DS10cTEC, which is 28.6 millimeter. This one is 21.8, or just under 22. So it is smaller. Nonetheless, you're getting a heck of a nice field of view here. To be able to fit Meade 1 in there is quite remarkable at f7.5. You're right, Jack. 5 clumps in a row. I really like the clumps. When you get to pull out the clumps, it's pretty amazing, actually. And the colors is not bad. It's balanced right. Here's something I want to try. Let's go to 6 stack instead of 4. So let's see what we're going to get. We may develop the Pink Floyd effect. We'll see. All right. The status says okay. It doesn't mean that we're not gonna get the Pink Floyd effect. Here's 2 frames that will really see those dust lanes. I personally never seen that before until I use a 432M. But last night, the 26C really impressed me by seeing them. Tonight, even more, because they are really dominant. We actually see the outer arms getting out of there. Wow. On the upper part towards the 1 o'clock position. That's right. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Jack. All the way to the right corner, the dust lane extends on the outside of the galaxy. I've never seen that before. Not live anyway, so no, this is good. And now we can afford, we got a little bit more, we can afford to lower the dark point a bit more. And let's try this. Is it 6 frame we got to that? Yeah. We're going to start 6 frames at 4.5 seconds. Hopefully the alignment frame will not throw us into a Pink Floyd effect. But as I said last night and the night before, if all the adjustments, the contrast is right, the gain is right, the exposure is right, you should not have, and don't do any other adjustments. And close all of the other windows that you have, all of the tabs, close them up. You want to save your memory as much as you can. Wow, this is nice. Okay, I want to make this darker even. All right, 2 more clicks. Let's see what we can get here. Okay, so 6 frames still, additive, 2x2 binning. Oh, the sharpness is turned off. I don't want to push my luck unless you want me to try it. But then we're going to end up with a lot of noise. But yes, I would love to try the sharpness on that. Well, here's what I want to do, Jack. I don't want to do what you're suggesting. And the only reason is I want to keep the values we had as last night's camera and 2 nights ago, the other camera. The values were set at 4.5 seconds. The gain was set at 30. I want to remain that way. I want to see what we could do with the same value. That way, we get to see what the sensor really does, how sensitive it is. I think we've got the histogram just right. And wow. Look at the clumpies in there. That's the reason I don't want to change anything else, Jack. It's just to do a comparison that we've been doing for the past 3 nights. All right, let's push the luck here. And hey boy, here we go. We're going to wreck the thing again. We'll go to 100 for that. And let's see if the Pink Floyd effect will kick in. That sharpness, every frame requires a huge amount of memory. And the alignment is a lot harder to achieve. Yes, it is. You're absolutely right on the gain aspect. But 30 is 30. If we go in the 70s and 80s and more, then I would agree with you there. 30 is 30, no matter what we do. So that's why I want to see, based on that. The real test would be to shut off the gain completely. But we're not going to have enough brightness to have the stacking, the alignment stacking. 30 is 30 on all of them. I want to keep those values just away there. Wow, look at the dust lanes in there. Now we see the clumpies more sharp. We've got a little bit more noise because of the sharpness, but if we keep stacking it, I think it's the noise is going to disappear. This is nice. This is very, very nice. Honestly, I did not expect that. This is f7.5, the same thing as what we used on the other cameras, on the DS10cTEC. Definitely exhibit a lot more sensitivity when used at binning 2x2. I'm dying to try something here, folks. I might be pushing my luck. Okay. I just want to try something. This is just an experiment. 3x3. Oh boy, now we're pushing it. I could already see it. It's too much. I'm just dying to know. That's all. Let's try it. I know the background is going to be way too white, but 3x3 bidding is going to really kick this thing out of the planet. Oh, this is only 2 frames. 3 frames. This is bidding 4 frames. Whoa, all right, too much. Here's something else we're going to try. However, I'm going to have to change. If I go bidding 1, I'm going to have to use the histogram and put it back where it was. So 1 by 1, we're not going to see anything really. I don't know if this will stack, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Pink Floyd effect. Okay, so far so good. This is 1 by 1 bidding, and we're additive of 6 frame. So obviously the sensitivity is lacking majorly. We got 5 frame stack. Here's 6. Yeah, we can't even pull the okay, yeah, yeah, 1 by 1 is not cutting it at all. So let's go back to bidding 2 by 2. All right, we're gonna bring back the histogram roughly to where it should be at, I think. All right, we still haven't checked, we haven't modified the gain or the exposure. It's still 4.5 seconds, and the gain's at 30. About a quarter open, actually, for the gain. Yeah, it's about that, a little bit less than a quarter. So here we go again. Nice. The background is decent. We could probably reduce the red a little bit. Wow, those dust lanes are really popping out. Now the next target we're going to try is M51. I didn't get so much good result with M51. I find it difficult to get it right. So I'm going to grab a image of that one here. I'm going to snap it. Okay, here's a snap image. This was M82. This is the one we just took. And this is the live. So I'm going to stop the stacking. I'm going to increase the gain so I could see the object as we go to M51. And I may have to go move the dome. So I'll be right back. I'm going to swing the house. I'm going to swing the dome. I'll be right back. Okay, I got 2 monitors running here. One of them in the warm room is a 32-inch curved gaming monitor. The view is okay, but I tell you, the MallinCam 21.5-inch on the other side blows this one away. The image looks like something that you would get out of the internet. The live view is just incredible. Oh, crap. I went the wrong way. Let me lower the, there. Hang on a sec, folks. Oh, shoot. No, I did it. Okay, the speed's too quick. Way too quick. Oh. It's well centered, but let me center it even better. Tracking the scope is good tonight. I'm rather shocked. I did not do any star alignment. I kept the, I only parked the scope, turned it back on, and off she goes. So we're doing okay for that. There you go. All right. Let's go back to 4.5 seconds. The gain was a 30. Okay, and where's the histogram set at? Okay, now I know we don't have enough stars. They're not bright enough. Let's try it anyways. I may have to readjust the histogram so the aligned frame feature of the live stack is going to lock on. It says it's locked on. Output says 1, but let's wait and see. Oh, all right. This is a surprise. Okay, this is even bigger surprise. Look at the clumps in there. Okay, all right. This is the best view of M51 of all the cameras. Ouch. Okay, okay. No, this is good. I already see galaxies at the bottom here. A few galaxies in there. 16.5 magnitude. Okay, wow. Okay. Ouch. Okay. Whoa, this is nice there, folks. The background is purple, so we're going to have to do a correction on that. But I'm not going to worry about it too much, but I will do a correction on the histogram. Okay, I did not expect that. This is gorgeous. Yes, it is there, Jack. I totally agree. Whoa, okay. All right, I didn't expect that. Whoa, that little camera really kicks butt. 2x2 binning, as my test always concluded, this is as sensitive as a 432 with a bigger chip. That is when you use it in binning 2. No amp glow, no nothing. Wow, this is nice. Whoa, something I did not expect. And damn, we've got the sharpening on and nothing happened. Okay, I'm not going to complain. This is nearly photographic, for Pete's sake. This is nice. Yes, very nice. And here's that little galaxy right there, 16.5 magnitude, right here. That little fuzzball right here, where the X is, that's a 16.5, magnitude 16.5, I believe, galaxy. Here's another one there too, I think. If I'm not mistaken, there's another galaxy right here. I could be wrong here, but maybe somebody needs to check that out. There's a faint satellite that went through here. All right. Well, that's what I thought I saw. John there. I never thought I'd capture that. I'm not too sure what the magnitude is on there, but there is a bunch of galaxies in there. Holy cow, I did not expect that at all. You can see actual color blue and light bulb color for the centers. Okay, I'm going to take a snap of this. There you go. Now the snap has, we just took has all of the stack, so the noise is completely gone out of this. This is a stack image. I just took that picture, and this is the live. This is incredible. Liza Lamb, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Holy crow, I did not expect that, folks. Okay, let's try something else. I would like to have a little bit better contrast, so let's go to the histogram. 1, 2. It's going to be dark. I don't know if the align frame's going to kick in. Now we lost a lot of stars for this to align properly. Let's find out. Don't forget, this is an Altaz, not equatorially mounted, not guided, no filters, no darks, no flat, no nothing. Just stick the camera in the scope and go. Yes, I don't need to go in RGB 48 because this is live. So I still don't get why people would have to go with such high amount of count here. This is a very workable image, and it can be processed. And you could have just an equally good result. Okay, let me go to the histogram again. I don't want to push my luck, but now we really got barely any stars in there. I just would like to get a little bit darker background, and the histogram dark side of it will give us what we want. It says here that the output is 1. Wow, does it ever come out fast? And the status is okay. Yeah, we've got a blue background now, so I'm going to have to change that a little bit. I don't want to be overly picky for nothing, but boy, this is nice. Wow. Okay, because of the changes I just did, I lowered the blue a little bit. We need to stop the stack and start it over again. Wow, the results are a lot better than I expected. So we're at f7.5, just like the other cameras the other night. And right now for sensitivity at binning 2, this is the winner. And it is as good as the 432, except this one has a lot bigger chip, no amp glow, and boy, the color rendition is amazing. Wow, this is nice. This is ultra nice. I gotta take another snap of this guy. There you go. This is a snap. Nice, 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 nice. I'm just curious to try something. Just a minute, guys and girls. See, it tells us raw, which will be fits. It's going to be saving fits. So I'm going to leave it that way. And Oh, before I do that, let me lower the image a little bit. Oh, wrong way. Okay, there. That's the center we want. All right, let's wait a couple of seconds here. Okay. Wow, the scope is tracking extremely well tonight, but my computer gave me one heck of a hard time. It took me over half an hour to get it started. It wouldn't boot up at all. So obviously I'm due for another computer in this one room, and this time I will not buy it at Walmart on sale at $299 with 8 gig memory and a small Celeron chip in there. And I'm going to have to break the piggy bank and buy something a wee bit better. I like the AMD chips though, but I'm going to need more memory and a bigger processor for sure. Okay, have a good night there, Dewey. Thank you for coming over here for a visit on the broadcast. This is nice, guys and girls. Beautiful, beautiful image. I'm going to take another snap of this guy. Nice. Unexpected, completely unexpected. There's some really sharp area right here. Right in this spiral. Some of the finer detail, even in here. You have a split in there into the spiral and the clumps over here, plus the galaxy here. And there was an edge-on galaxy that we saw earlier. I think it was here, but it doesn't matter really. It's for 4.5 seconds times 6 frame, not bad at all. So 4.5 seconds, the gain's at 30 and f7.5 in Altaz, no guiding, no filters, no dark frames, and no flat field. Basically, plug and go, play with some adjustments, and you're done. This is nice. I really like this split here. Here's another split I just noticed here. Okay, first of all, we got this split here. This is really nice. We got another split in here. And in, we've got the bridge here. We got another one over here. Here's another one here that's starting to pop out the more that we're stacking here. Very, very nice. There's a lot of stuff to study in there. No, I disagree with you, Mount Stewart. Or is that you? Oh, come on. Russell, is that you? I'd say it's more like a Stratocaster plug into a Marshall stack. Okay, Russell, I got you. Nice. Very, very nice. Rodney, I'm really glad that, you know, that helps you out. Now, the key is to get the gain at the right place, keep the exposure down, and let the stack of short frame do the work for you. Here's something else I'm going to try. We're going to stop this. We're going to jump 6 frames, 7, 8. Let's try 8 frames, see what it'll do. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, we'll have to definitely make this darker by 1 notch. So let's try 8 frames instead of 6 of 4.5 seconds. So for 4.5 seconds, I don't get much error in the tracking. And what the software does, it aligns each frame it takes. So it looks like I have a perfectly going mount, which the truth is, I don't. Because I'm in Altaz and it's not 100% well aligned or anything like that. But let's go for 8 frames this time. So 4.5 times 8. Yes, I agree with you. Jim, I agree with you 110%. Let's see what 8 frames going to do to us. So that's going to, we're going to gain another 9-second exposure here. Every second's help here. Now we're starting to see the outer edges. Holy cow, I did not expect that. This is pretty cool. I want to grab one of those and try to process it. So we got 17. Wow. Actually, this is more sharp. The stacking is working extremely well. There is no Pink Floyd effect. That's because the camera is adjusted correctly. Wow. I gotta grab another snap of this. Okay, this is a snap that I just grabbed. And this is the live. This is snap. And this is the live. Wow. There's no difference at all. Okay, I want to be, how about if we go 10? Oh boy. We will have to turn this guy down 1 more notch. Now let's hope this is going to stack. I hope it'll detect enough stars. The more I make the image darker, the harder it is for the live stack to lock on the frame alignment. So if it says okay, 1, all right, we're going to go 10 frame. See how much more detail we're going to get out of this. And I want to see how accurate the software is capable of aligning those faint stars and still make them look pinpoint. This is f7.5. If I bet f5 or f4, the stars would even be more pinpoint and smaller. And of course, the galaxy would be smaller. The image scale would be a lot smaller than what it is now. But boy, oh boy, the blue is really coming out of the galaxies. And the clumps now are really nice. There you go. Oh yeah, that makes a big difference. Ouch. Yes, David, the dark lane detail is incredible. I'm surprised the light stack is able to maintain a very accurate frame alignment. That's why I want to keep the exposure short, so it's more forgiving on the tracking. Well, it's not really not forgiving, but it doesn't show as much. This is nice. This is something else. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a few more a picture of that because I'm gonna play with them later. Here's one. Got another one. There you go. Nice. Okay, this one's a picture and all the noise is gone. And here, this is live. This is nice. This is 10 stack of 4.5. The bridge is nice on there. The splits in the lanes are just incredible. I gotta let this go and see how much more that we'll be able to gain out of this. And we're at 32 frames so far, but really we're stacking 10 of them. Wow. Now you're starting to see the waves, is what I call the waves. I don't know what you guys call it. The waves I'm referring to is here, 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 and here. It's starting to look like a bicycle wheel right here. Here too, you've got an actual crossover happening here. And definitely you got a split in here, but you got a crossover here, 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 and here. Here, I'll take the X out. See what I mean? It's it's like a feather, fan feathered. Wow, this is nice. Yeah, really, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, it took me over half an hour to fire up the computer today. I don't know what's going on with this thing, but it obviously is going on the bump. Well, thanks to Walmart, it was only $299. It came with a keyboard, which is pretty cool. Came with a mouse, cool. $299. 8 gigs memory and AMD A6. The A6 is equivalent to a Celery or a Celeron. So it's not the best. In fact, it's probably the worst. But I didn't want to put too much money in the computer because I need to see what it takes to run the camera. Now in the shop, I've got the i5, 8 gig memory and Windows 10 Pro running on those, and there's no issue. I could have up to 7 cameras, Universe, Exterminators, Extreme, DS24, DS26 run. Everything is running on there all at once without a glitch. Now this little guy here, this little Acer is working hard a bit. But so far, so good. I'm not going to complain. Happy Easter to everyone, by the way. Yeah, it's on the Easter holiday. It didn't want to fire it up earlier. I didn't know if I would be able to broadcast or not. But boy, this image is nice. For live application, this is not bad at all. I'm going to take a few more snaps at this. And I'm going to save them for later so I can process it using the MallinCam Sky. I'm going to take another snap. And the process are easy. They know it's sharpen, color toning, the interlace, mode, color grayscale, adjusts, brightness, color. Was it the curve that we're able to? Yeah. I think that's what it was. Nice. I'll be able to do some with that. Okay, let's go. Whoop. Nope. Okay, let's go back to live. This is live right now. Yes, I did. Russell, I did. Now watch this. Bell has high-speed running on my property. They dug holes. They've got fiber optics running at 50 feet away from my house, but they will not run them to my house. The guy across the street has it. The neighbor up the road has it. Everybody else has it. Nobody wants to run cable or fiber optics here. So what I did, I went on Bell and I saw that they had a service, wireless service for internet, which is done through cellulars. And I'm now getting 25 megabytes per second download, which is a lot better than 3 megabytes I was getting if I'd be at best. My upload used to be 0.3. Now it's 5.7. So that made a huge, huge difference. So there's no more hiccups. There's no more cut off in the voice. There's no more screw around with the image or anything like that. So yes, it did improve quite a lot. It's called rural service. So they came and installed an antenna on my satellite TV tower, and off I go. Everything's cool. It's nice. It's working really, really good, and I'm not complaining anymore. Obviously, I need a computer that'll keep up with this now. So it's time to buy a little bit bigger computer. It's good news indeed. Yes, it's excellent, Russell. I could break dance about it, but I'm not going to. I don't want to fall again. Okay, that sounds good, Jim. Thank you for being here. It's about 10:20 for myself. I was going to stop at about 10:30 or so. Go in the house and grab a coffee, and it's supposed to be nice all week long. So I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow night, but I got to dig out some other cameras here that we're going to be able to use. I did put together only one that I was able to put together is a DS10cTEC. I'm not going to try it because the customer wants it, but definitely this one here is going to stay on my scope. I really, really like what I'm getting out of this here. So I'm going to sign off as well. I'd like to wish everybody a nice evening and happy Easter, and thank you for coming over. And I think I'm going to play with some of those images and see what we can come up with. 82 degrees. Okay. It's about 35, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. It's warmer here today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Today's 35, 36 right now. So it's not too bad. Rodney, thank you so much. SP's F56, thank you. Jeff, have a good night. Don, have a good night. And I'm going to pull the plug, and I'm gonna play with this without being on the broadcast. I'll stay here a little bit and play with that. Okay, thanks again, folks. Next time we'll broadcast, we're definitely going to post it on. Have a good night, everyone.